Hello, everyone. Welcome to Moon Mage. Today's tarot messages are connected to the new moon in Libra happening on October 21st. This is pick an image tarot messages, and I always tell everyone to use your own intuition without overthinking it and feel into which message is speaking to you. I do like to give a brief overview of the energies that each lunar cycle brings in for all of us in an overarching collective kind of way, but you don't have to listen to that if you're not interested. You could go straight ahead, look at the thumbnail or the intro, pick your message and just go ahead and listen. But for those of you that are interested, I am going to give a brief overview. I'd also like to quickly mention that I did a 5-minute meditation connected to this lunar cycle, this new moon in Libra. If you're interested, you can have a look at that as well. The intention around those 5-minute meditations is just to help everybody connect in to the best and most empowering positive aspects of each lunar cycle, because the cyclical nature of the moon phases and how quickly they change can affect some of us in a harder way, right? Especially if we feel very affected by the moon. So the intention is just to anchor into the best aspects of each moon cycle, especially if you're one of those people. I am, which is what motivated me to create them. So there's that. So if you're interested, that'll be linked in at the end of the video. Now, this new moon in Libra is inviting all of us to examine our relationships from a higher perspective. There's a lot of spirituality connected to this, from a more spiritual perspective and higher mind nature. It's kind of asking us to really understand the relationship we have with ourselves and others and say, is it real? Is it authentic? Is it healthy? Is it balanced? Is it harmonious? Where are things imbalanced, and how can I sort that out so that I don't take it with me into the next year, right? Because that's coming quite soon in the next couple of months. So there's a big energy around that. There's also some sticky energy here with this one too. We might start to feel a looming pressure or a sense of urgency to have all of our to-do lists complete before the end of the year. We might start to get those feelings of overwhelm because, for a lot of us, the holiday festivities are about to kick off, and that brings in a lot of busy energy as well. And then there's a lot of planetary activity happening around this lunation, bringing in more scattered energy, overwhelm, and indecisiveness. So we have to be really careful. Indecisiveness is a big one with this too. We can really get lost in the sauce. We can sense and feel that something is wrong, something is imbalanced, something feels off, but not really know what to do about it. So this is a really good lunation to create a blueprint for how we want to feel, to uncover and understand where and what the cause of our emotional overwhelm is, to really look at our needs versus the needs of others and try to find a bridge to create harmony there, right? It's all about, this lunation is all about offering the opportunity to look at where there is disharmony and imbalance and find ways to create it. And sometimes that's going to mean having old wounds from the past come up that don't feel the best to see or feel them, but they're coming up to be healed, to be released, so that, again, we don't carry that dissonance and disharmony into the new year, into the next couple of months, really. So this new moon is offering a big opportunity to get back to center, to take a deep breath, to understand ourselves, to release, and then move forward from a place of balance and harmony. And so again, it's going to ask us to look at things that might be difficult, might be hard, and to make decisions around it, and then allow ourselves to get lost in the sauce and get really indecisive about everything and fear making the wrong decision. You're going to want to feel through everything before you decide, not just think through. Feel through it first and then bring it up to your mind and say, okay, now how do I make this balance or harmony happen in the best possible way? Not just for me, but for others, because Libra's all about balance and those scales, right? Fairness, justice for all. So we are not just thinking about ourselves under this lunation. We're thinking about how it's going to affect those we love and care about, and where we might be able to make compromises that don't feel like we're giving ourselves away to our own detriment. So it's a lot of energy with this particular new moon. We will pull some surrender cards because it is going to ask us to release things that cause or create some of our disharmony. So something to keep in mind. I'm just going to check my notes to make sure I haven't missed anything. Yeah, I talked about there's a lot of busy energy around this. But again, the big ask here, if you start to feel scattered, disharmony within your body, overwhelmed, take that as an invitation that you need to step back, breathe, find your center. And this is where the clarity will come. But you have to get real, raw, and honest with yourself. All right. I'm going to leave that there as far as the synopsis and the overall view and energies coming in with this lunation. Now, if you've stayed to listen to this part, give yourself a second now without overthinking it to feel into messages 1 through 4. Look at those images, and I will get started here with message number 1. Hello, message 1. All right, I decided to pull the overarching main energies just to save a little bit of time in the video, but we will look at them together. So we've got, for my beautiful message 1 choosers, nice, okay, moon dance, celebration. And right away I'm looking at the couple there, and it is Libra energy that we're talking about and dealing with, which is very, very much connected to relationships. So there could be some cause for celebration for you under this new moon cycle, especially as it might connect to relationships. Okay, on the challenge side, we've got blossom. All right. And manifest. Okay. Manifest. You know what's really interesting, message 1? Because there's cause here for celebration, right? This is like that shout out from the heavens that there is something really good here. And then we've got blossom, we've got fire energy, yellow and orange showing up like crazy, which is connected to our solar plexus and our sacral, both very needed and necessary for healthy, harmonious relationships. And then you've got manifest over here, right? Yin yang energy too, blue and orange. It feels like there's some kind of opportunity under this lunar cycle for you to bring harmony and balance into a connection, to trust it, to go and lean into maybe something new or even a new cycle with a partner, allowing it to blossom and become this beautiful, committed, loyal relationship connection kind of thing. And it's sort of like you can manifest from a place of trust with this or fear. And I do feel fear here for some of you, right? Because we've got this blossoming energy here, almost like there's a bit of guardedness, worry, fear, concern. Really, should I open up? Should I be vulnerable? Should I take the next step in this commitment and allow myself to really lean in and trust this love energy, this connection, or whatever it is that I'm bringing together, that it really is meant to be harmonious, balanced, wonderful. It's sort of like you being asked to manifest from that place of trust, love, and understanding rather than fear. But I think that maybe there's been a little bit of a holding back here. A bit of a guarded heart energy is something I feel for a lot of my message 1s. But with moon dance there and celebration, I feel like, the heavens are giving you a shout out saying you can trust and lean into this new connection, this new person, situation, or that there is a healing that has taken place around an existing relationship and you can only go up from here. But we must unlock our heart and allow things to blossom in their own time. Because there's also a bit of a rush energy. Like maybe for some of you too, there's this concept of wanting to have this commitment manifest faster, but it needs to move in its own time and cycle. I don't know, there's something to that here for some of you, I think. But this is quite beautiful energy. Some sort of new beginning, a cause for celebration, something that can be trusted. And that I think requires patience and an open heart. Okay, I was going to pull 2 surrender cards and 2 fell out. Okay, surrender procrastination. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. Celebration, manifest, blossom in the challenge side. Okay, so it could be you then if you chose message 1 that's dragging your feet on making this commitment, saying yes to this new beginning. It's sort of like this call that you've been manifesting this thing, and that manifestation wants to come into full bloom right now. So not dragging your feet about it, or at the very least, trying to understand what is causing you to drag your feet. What is the fear? Why do we feel we need to have our hearts guarded? Or what is the fear telling us that we can't have this thing, or it can't be fully trusted, or we can't commit? What is that thing? That's the big ask for you guys. Surrender to joy. A key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling during both the hard and easy times. Keep surrendering to more joy. Yeah. You have an invitation here coming under this lunation to really bring things into healthy balance, to manifest your deepest wants and desires. And I feel like you've been doing it subconsciously anyways, but then it's sort of like that energy of something lagging and not coming into full bloom because of fear. So just allow to go with the flow and to trust and to let it all be fun and exciting, to be the kind of energy that you want to celebrate. I know that's easier said than done, especially when we've dealt with some hard things from the past that told us or showed us that we shouldn't have been so open or trusting. And I don't know why, but I keep feeling that for a lot of you. I want to say, though, that I feel like you're moving into a higher timeline and a better cycle in your life. And it can be really hard to unstick the past and trust that we really are moving in that kind of a direction, on an upswing. It definitely feels like that for you guys. Message 1. It feels really good. Trustworthy. I almost feel like, too, for some of you, in general, so it's not going to make sense for all, but for some of you, especially if you're single, there might be somebody who's about to walk in. And again, there might be this fear of allowing it to happen, to manifest, to grow, to blossom, and to really just have fun with it instead of overthink it. So just be mindful for those of you who are single. I feel like this is going to be wanting to show up for you in the very near future. And it's sort of like you're getting a heads up from Spirit saying, go for it. This is yes energy. This is good. Okay. 6 of Gabriel. Congratulations. You've done a wonderful job. Time to move on to the next project, awards, scholarships, or promotions. Whew. 6 of Gabriel, really, you've worked really hard on something, maybe on yourself, maybe on an actual project, as the card says, but there's been a challenge to move up to the next level, to allow the next thing. That energy of trust and some fear. Yeah, congratulate yourself. You've done a wonderful job. Also, this vibe of not giving yourself the credit you deserve. There's so much orange and yellow here. So I really do get the sense that for some of you, maybe you have a bit of an imbalance in that sacral and solar plexus, right? One is responsible for our emotions, creativity, passion. The other one is for our sense of power, confidence, courage, things like that. I feel like working those two energy centers out, it would be a good idea for you guys at this time. Page of Michael, truthful, perceptive, analytical, blunt. An exciting new challenge. You have what it takes to succeed. Review contracts or documents very thoroughly. Okay, so you know what? And I didn't touch on it, so my apologies, message 1. Hopefully some of you didn't give up because you're like, I don't relate to the relationship aspect of this. There is some sort of coming together within you under this lunar cycle, things being brought into that balance and harmony, the yin and the yang, and an offering is to follow this, something really positive where there's reward, reasons to be really proud of yourself, and a new offering to take your energy and what you've done to the next level. But I do feel like there's that underbelly of trusting yourself, enjoying this journey, and believing that, things really are turning in your favor at this time, because it says an exciting new challenge. So you might be overthinking that, message 1. Can I really do this? I feel like the answer is absolutely yes, you can. Page of Raphael, gentle, loving, dreamy, and open-hearted. Here goes. There is definitely 2 messages for my group 1 choosers. A new emotional situation. Messages regarding relationships or social invitations. Great intuitive insights. Yeah. Saying yes to this, right? That's under celebratory energy. Making new connections about to show up for you. Whether this ends up being in a business way, a friendship way, or a romantic way is going to be different for all of you, because this message is definitely bringing up more than one type of energy. But I feel like really the main message for you guys is to say yes to it. Don't put it aside. Don't put off joy. Just say yes. That's the vibe I get for you guys. Okay, perspective, Archangel Shamuel. There's a better way. Pause for reflection and insight. Dare to be different. Okay, with this offering, with this new opportunity, right? An exciting new challenge or person. No, I think actually this is probably more related to a new challenge or opportunity. It says there's a better way. Pause for reflection and insight. Dare to be different. So not trying to play it safe with something, being authentic, being real, being raw. Libra energy asks us for that. It says, absolutely will we not tolerate being anything less than who we are. So this is an opportunity to lean into these aspects of yourself. Let them be seen. Let yourself be seen. Be open to it. So take a step back before making any major decisions and say, is this true for me? Does this feel authentic for me? Is this the way I would actually do it if I wasn't aware of how everybody else is doing it and feeling like that pressure to be like everyone else? Ask yourself those kinds of questions before moving forward. Six of Michael. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. Breathe a sigh of relief and make new plans. Relocation or travel. Wow. Wowzers, wowzers. Oh, you've got 2 sixes as well. Everyone gets scared of sixes. Don't be scared of the 6 here. Message 1. 6 brings about the energy of harmony and balance, and it will show us where we are imbalanced and where we're lacking harmony in our life. And that makes so much sense with this new moon in Libra. So you've got 1 to start and 1 to end. That's 6 energy, right? All it does is say to you, where do you feel imbalance? Something's off and there's a niggle there, and we're needing to listen to it. So we've got it here in your creativity, passion, and fire, and then also with where we're moving to next. This is what needs to be brought into balance. So I'm going to reread these ones. It says, congratulations, you've done a wonderful job. Time to move on to the next project, award scholarships or promotions. And then we've got 6 of Michael. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. Breathe a sigh of relief and make new plans, relocation or travel. It's about leveling up for you guys. There's a major level up happening, whether this is in love, relationship, career, and it definitely feels like both for a lot of you. And then one or the other, right? I mean, you'll know which side of this energy you fall on. It's funny though, because I feel like some of you, it's like, it's both. I've got a lot happening all at once, and that can be very overwhelming. All the more reasons to take a deep breath, find our center, make sure that we're grounded, that we're in our power, that our sacral is emotionally healthy and balanced. Because when we operate from that kind of a place of balance and harmony, our yin yang is really well balanced. I keep saying that word, but once it is, we do tend to make good decisions. We stop dragging our feet. We say yes to things that would bring us joy and contentment. We move forward into the new scary territory with trust in our hearts. And you have a massive invitation to say yes to new beginnings in love, career, all kinds of different things happening here for message 1s. And it really just all feels quite positive for you guys. Like very much yes energy. Whoop. This just fell out. And it says courage. Live your life fearlessly with courage, strength and determination. Yeah. Being brave, trusting that you've got what it takes for this next up leveling, this next new thing. Especially where vulnerability is needed, right? In relationships, we have to be open-hearted and vulnerable, but we also need courage when we're trying to go a new way or forge a new path with that sense of authenticity, believing that we can be the leader here and take charge of a situation. That is definitely an energy here for you guys too. I almost feel like some of you, I don't know if you're aware of it, but I feel like some of you have received an energetic upload, or like almost like somebody plugged you in and recharged your energy. Maybe you've even been feeling that buzzy energy within you. It feels like being up leveled by the spiritual realm, by the universe. Abundance. When your heart's intention is to serve humanity, doors of abundance naturally open. Manifest. Major manifesting energy coming your way. Message 1, big time. An abundance of all kinds of things. It feels like an abundance of joy, happiness, connection, love, new career, or a new position in a career or something, even a new direction, as this one said, relocation or travel. For some of you, that might have been the whole message. Yes, you're meant to go in a new direction and travel to that place or take that job far away, that kind of energy, but massive change that all feels quite positive to me for you guys. All right, let's pull a couple more cards here. I feel like maybe somebody just needed to come in and let my message one choosers know, like, you've got this, you're moving in good directions. There is a little bit of fear and procrastination and holding yourself back rather than leaning into the excitement and joy of all these new things and new prospects showing up for you. It's just about working on that, recognizing when maybe anxiety comes in to take over and brings you into that energy of fear rather than trust and belief. But it does feel like you're moving into a really beautiful cycle. Ancient echoes. Honor insights gained with experience and hear the truths resonate within you. Timeless wisdom. Definitely make some time and space, or create some time and space for reflection and to just breathe, especially before making decisions, because indecisiveness is a big energy that this lunation can bring. But I feel like for you, if you do this, it will really get you centered back in your body. And it almost feels like you're going to hear loud and clear what you need to do and what's true for you from a place of authenticity and not following the crowd and doing what everybody else does. Timeless wisdom. Honor insights gained with experience and hear the truths resonate within your timeless wisdom. Yeah. I feel like you are the wise one, message one, typically speaking. Like you have a lot of wisdom and knowledge for others. Okay. I am going to cut this off with one final angel message here. Message one, I feel like this lunation is offering so much harmony and balance and newness in so many directions by what you do, bringing your actual energetic body back into balance, that yin yang energy. But I also think for some of you, there's love connection coming in, healing in your life that you can trust, or that is going to be asking you to take it to the next level of commitment without leaving the fear and the worries behind. So much going on for you guys in this message. At times, you may receive a series of favors or unexpected gifts for no apparent reason. The angels are here to remind you that you are deserving of all good things. That celebration energy, giving yourself that pat on the back because you've done really hard work. You've done something really good. You are deserving. And this might be an aspect of yourself that you need to look at, a wound that made you feel less than, a self-esteem issue, right? That's in the solar plexus. But then it also drops down into that sacral, right? With our emotions getting skewed. Really look at this. You don't want to bring this forward with you because you've got a lot of beautiful energy and amazing new beginnings showing up for you. Again, at times you receive a series of favors or unexpected gifts for no apparent reason. The angels are here to remind you that you are deserving of all good things. Yep, you are. You deserve it. You're worthy. You're deserving. You also deserve, that round of applause. And I suspect you're not usually comfortable with that kind of thing, but allow yourself to fake it till you make it. At the very least, just say thank you and I'm grateful. And it's just going to bring more things for you to be grateful for. But a big message here to start believing yourself, to look at those fears that are coming up and causing some anxiety with you that could be making things slow down or causing you to fear making different decisions or a new decision or a commitment of some sort. All right, I'm going to leave that there. And I hope all of you have the most amazing, beautiful day. Take care, guys. Hello, message 2. So I went ahead and pulled the main overarching energies, but we will look at them together. Ooh, okay, we've got face your fears, cold moon. And it looks like there's a doorway beyond this. Okay, so facing our fears, bringing some sort of new opportunity or new beginning. So if you're starting to feel some anxiety around this lunation, that's actually, it is, this new moon in Libra is stirring up overwhelm, indecisiveness, scattered energy. Give yourself over to a little bit of rest and respite. Take a step back, take a deep breath. It's coming up for a reason. There's this uncomfortable energy that this lunation is bringing out where we have fears, and it's asking us to finally face them because it's like we're being prepped in some way for a new beginning and we can't bring them with us, or we might subconsciously mess up this new thing that wants to come our way. So what fears are coming up to the surface for you right now? Rather than run for them or shut them down, turn around and face them, because it's going to bring something positive if you do, I feel here. Ooh, success and growth. coming in the challenge position. And look at, there's like, it looks like a heart there, right? With that leaf. It feels to me like you've probably got some really beautiful and positive ideas and inspirations that you're not doing anything with for fear you can't do it. You're not good enough. You're not strong enough. You don't have the resources. Fill in the blank. Maybe because of things in the past that didn't work out. And so you're not trusting that maybe this time it could. I feel like it could. There is success and growth in something that you want to do, bring about, change, shift. But it's about facing the fears that stop you from doing it, I think. All those leaves look like heart. So it feels like this is a heart-centered thing that you've come upon or are about to. And I feel like, I feel like it's about not talking yourself out of this thing. Look at that. Open up. Open up. Being open to spirit, I think, making some space for spiritual connection and meditation, calling in your spirit guides, perhaps, or universal energy, connection to your higher self. I feel this energy of maybe some of you guys have been blocking that from coming in, blocking your intuition, but because there's fear and anxiety. But you are meant to be beginning something new, starting to create a thing, do a thing that is bringing up fears and that are telling you why you can't or shouldn't do it. You need to open up, I think, yourself, open up to spiritual connection, messaging, and wisdom so that you don't let this thing, this new doorway to success and growth pass you by all because of fear. And all of us humans do that. We always talk ourselves out of things that ultimately would bring about so much joy, happiness, and growth for fear that, right? Because what if, because we can't guarantee a positive outcome. But you're definitely meant to be doing something that's going to bring in some success and growth for you. Some sort of idea, inspiration that you have had or about to have, jeez, that you're being asked not to sit on. You know, I'm getting this quote of, there's no growth. Oh, how does that go? There's no growth in a life unseen, something like that. I think I'm messing that up. So that's not, I'm paraphrasing here. It's something like that. There's no honor or growth in a life lived unseen, like in the shadows. There's something about that. Maybe some of you really fear being seen in some kind of way, or, you know, opening up bigger and broader and showing up for yourself. I almost wonder though if this is connected to things that have happened in the past that didn't work out. And so now maybe you're using that as a yardstick as to why you can't do or create something new. It just might feel so impossible to you right now. But you know, it's a new moon, and all new moons bring in the opportunity for some sort of new beginning. Ooh, surrender to rest and sleep. To prevent burnout, slow down, honor your need for quiet time and peaceful sleep to rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit, right? And I think you'll receive some sort of wisdom, messaging, and connection through your sleep time too. Something I'm just feeling for you guys. But yes, you need to take a step back before trying to do anything, before I think going on automatic pilot and just doing the day-to-day things out of like that robotic habit that we all have, like we don't think about it, we just do it. Something wants to crack through, something wants to get to you, something new, something exciting, something heart-centered. Look at that. What did it? Surrender to spirit. Open up. Once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let spirit work its magic for you. Surrender to spirit. It's like that hurry up and do nothing energy. Right? This is where success and growth will come from. This is where spiritual connection and wisdom will be guiding you from this space of taking a break, taking a breath, allowing unfoldment, facing your fears. You might even be somebody who's a doer and you're not comfortable with taking a step back and allowing things, right? Seeing what shows up next for you and then just following that. But you're being asked massively to surrender to spirit right now, to take a step back, to allow more success, growth, creative inspiration to come through. Yeah. Turn the situation over to the divine. Let spirit work its magic for you. Yeah. There's also this energy of you don't have to work so hard. It's like You know, it's like work smart, not hard. It's like that kind of energy I feel for you guys. And yeah, this energy of being burnt out right now, doing too much, probably for fear that it'll all slip through my fingers if I don't keep pushing. But here, this is your invitation and your encouragement from spirit that the last thing that you need to be doing is pushing yourself even harder right now. And I think it's because there's something more to your situation that wants to come through. More inspiration, wisdom, help, spiritual guidance that's going to bring about the success and growth that you seek, that you've been seeking, that you've been working so hard on. But you know, I do feel like for some of you that chose this message, you're just at the precipice of this. You're doing hard work and living your life, and it's busy and it's hectic. And there's this little inspiration that you've been feeling niggled, like a niggle that you haven't acted on and spirit really wants you to. But in order to get the broad picture of it and trust, there needs to be space created for it. So I feel like there's two things here, right? For some of you, you are working really hard to achieve this thing, but to the point of burning yourself out, and new things want to show up for you to help guide you along this path. And for others, it's about a new beginning with this sort of energy where you're going to do and create something, but being too caught up in the day-to-day for it to get to you. Hopefully that made sense what I'm saying. The World, a very happy ending, coming full circle, spiritual growth and insight. Right? And this is coming on the side of that challenge, right? Needing to take that respite. This is what the energy that you get to if you do, though, if you allow this for yourself. A very happy ending, coming full circle, spiritual growth and insight, being this thing that's been really challenged for you to get to. That's a strong message here from my group too, is making space for that universal connection. 2 of Ariel, it's important to have balance. Working multiple jobs or projects at once, making work fun. Yeah, you guys are just overwhelmed with life and busyness and jobs and family and work and all the things. And it's creating this block within you to this success and this growth and this joy I feel for you guys, right? For fear that I can't stop. I have to keep going or else something bad will happen. It's not like that feeling of the other shoe will drop. Not the case. I'm feeling for you guys. You really do have this green light to take a break, to take a breath, to take a step back, to connect to your spirit again, and to spirit in general. There's wisdom that's going to come through as a result. 6 of Ariel, embrace your inner child, new friends or rekindled relationships, children or childhood. And so 6 of Raphael is connected to the 6 of Cups, and there's nostalgia there, and there's fear of having to have your hands in all the things, right? Maybe because of in the past. It's also connected to children and family. I feel like you're definitely somebody who takes on a lot of responsibilities, emotional ones, financial ones, all the things. You're all the things. You're the doer of all the things. And I think there's some fear about, if I stop, will my family suffer? Will all the things that I'm working on suffer? You know, if I make me a priority at all, what will fall to the wayside as a result of my doing that? Nothing. You're coming into this cycle of this new moon in Libra saying that where the imbalance is for you is within yourself and what you need, your needs. Your emotional cup needs to be filled. I feel like it's empty. Embrace your inner child, new friends or rekindled relationships, children or childhood. Almost feels like for some of you bringing back an old dream from when you were young, something that really used to light you up or get you excited, something that you were interested in. But I think that you guys need to be filling your own emotional cup right now, making you a priority. 7 of Michael, there is a better course of action available to you. Working alone may not be the best answer. Review all the details. That's that energy of needing to take a step back. Success and growth, new ideas and inspirations, heaven sent, wanting to come through, but being so busy and so much in go mode that it can't get to you. So this is just another bit of a heads up around that energy. All the more reason to give yourself over to a bit of rest, respite, rejuvenation, because there is something better. There's a better way through forward. The Moon, the opportunity to improve your plans. Listen to your intuition for accurate guidance. Face your fears and grow stronger. Strong message for you guys. Wow. What is that fear that you're holding on to? A fear of doing something differently, trying something new, going a different direction, going against the grain of the norm. I feel like that is the ask. That is the energy and the thread to follow. But there's a lot of fear around this. What do you truly want? Start this energy and getting yourself into this place of peace and centeredness before you make any big decisions. It's just, again, it's that robotic energy of coming out of that robotic energy of just going, doing, being, creating space for yourself. Something wants to really show up for you that's quite good, opportunistic, brings about success and growth. Yeah, the opportunity to improve your plans. Yes. Very opportunistic for you guys, but it starts with you making you the priority here, taking a time out. Stop pushing, stop with the busyness for a little while. I feel like don't worry about all the things that you generally take care of. It'll be okay. I want to say that. It's going to be okay if you give yourself this break. It's this feeling of cracked open. Something cracks open in your mind. I'm definitely feeling that. I definitely think that some of you have felt quite, I've got a card that flew out, quite stressed out. I definitely am getting a stressed energy for some of you. I'm just going to go and pick up that card that flew out there. Okay, so the card that flew on the floor for you guys is love. Excuse me, love. Live your truth and share the love that is in your soul. There's some sort of authenticity that's lacking in your day-to-day life in the way that you're doing things. And I think that's fair, though, to say with all the other cards that came up here, you're somebody who gets things done. You take care of things. You take care of others. But there is new beginnings. There's new ways forward. There's ideas and inspirations that have been sat on or not listened to or that want to come through that are more aligned with your heart and your truth, that want to be discovered, that want to be leaned into. And the universe wants to ship them your way, but there needs to be space for them to get to you. Live your truth and share the love that is in your soul. Yes. Abundance. This came up in message 1. When your heart's intention is to serve humanity, doors of abundance naturally open. And then we've got open up. Yeah, something wants to come through that's going to provide this energy for you, bring in abundance. You know, it almost feels like there is definitely something that you want or that you've had a desire for that has been put on the back burner for a really long time with all the reasons why you can't do it or have it. And it is the very thing that brings in that success and abundance and joy. Excuse me, it feels very heart-centered. And it's the thing that needs to be leaned into more, or that spirit is trying to get through to you to see and understand and do something with. But again, I just definitely get the feeling that a lot of my message twos have a hard time prioritizing themselves and their own needs and their wants and their desires. And it's definitely time to start doing that. Message two. I feel like you're somebody who's got a lot to offer people too. That's too many cards there. Yeah, allowing things to unfold, because I just found myself reading that again. Once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. And that letting go and letting God, trust. Was the bottom card. Flowing peace. Release worry to be in the present moment and trust the natural rhythm of life. Letting go. Yeah. Letting go. It is that major overarching message here for you guys that keeps coming through over and over again of, if I let go, if I ebb back and I don't keep busy and doing these things and taking care of everything and everyone, it's all going to fall apart. That's probably coming from somewhere in the past. But I feel like Spirit's really highlighting that that's not going to happen. All is well. Spirit has your back, and they've also got more information how to create more abundance and bring in reward and success and joy through your own authentic heart and ideas and creativity. But it just needs space to get to you. I just noticed too on my timer on my camera that it was 16:16. I'm wondering if maybe that'll be a message for some of you. That was weird. I noticed it right away. 16:16. Anyways, flowing peace, release worry to be in the present moment and trust the natural rhythm of life. Letting go. Letting go. It definitely feels like the best thing you could do for yourself right now. But there's that fear that that keeps showing up here for you guys. Like, sorry guys, I just having all these different whoop, and now another card flew out on the floor. All right, let me just grab that. Sorry about that, guys. This card flew out. Okay. Uriel, the light of God, manifests his presence through inspiration and heightened intuition. He can be felt in the solar plexus chakra and seen in sparks of electric power, amber gemstones, the colors red and gold, lotus blossoms, and the sun. Wow, I don't think I've ever pulled this card from this little deck before. Light of God manifests his presence through the inspiration and heightened intuition. Surrender to spirit, open up. Huge message for you guys. Something really big, something beautiful, something authentic and aligned wants to get through for you. But we need to take a step back from being the doer of all the things and having our hand in everything and taking care of everything and pushing in busyness for it to get to you. And these are all things that you can utilize to help with this, right? Amber gemstones, wearing the colors red and gold, lotus blossoms, and spending some time out in nature, getting some sun, allowing the sun to be felt on your face, looking up. I get that kind of energy as well. Breathing in and breathing out. Something wants to crack through and get through to you. Definitely hear a message too. For you guys, I just keep wanting to say all is going to be well. And even better than you kind of imagined, but it really does require you to take a step back and surrender to this rest and respite that you so desperately need. And usually it's because there's a big call to go into that kind of void energy so that things can start incubating and ruminating to plant a new seed, to have a new beginning where there is that abundance. And that definitely feels true for you guys. Okay, I think I'm going to leave that there. I hope all of you have the most amazing, beautiful day. Take care, guys. Hello, message 3. All right, so I went ahead and pulled the main overarching energies to save a little bit of time in the video, but we're going to look at them together. Moonstruck, take a breath. Okay. This new moon is so good for that. It's kind of asking us all to do that in some way, shape, or form so that we can find balance and harmony or notice where we're lacking that. Definitely going to be a true thing for some of you. Taking a breath, not pushing too hard on anything, making space for reflection, contemplation, a timeout, or maybe just some fun and joy, because she almost looks like she's dancing there, right? Rebuild. Okay. Rebuild. Coming on the side of challenge, and she's holding her heart there, being lit up as well. Some of you might need to take a breath because you've come to the end of some kind of cycle, something where either, you put a lot of time, effort, and energy. This could be a person, this could be a situation, a job, a career, anything that you were working on doing. And it's caused a lot of frustration and anxiety and maybe some heartbreak as well for some of you. But you're meant to have a new beginning start for you and rebuild from a better place, a healthier place of some sort. I think there's something around your heart, though, that I haven't quite connected to what exactly that is, but heartbreak maybe. And it's time to rebuild from a better place where you're more strengthened now. You have more wisdom now. Yeah, look at this, all this light. And I'm noticing the number 4 right away. I haven't noticed a lot of the numbers so far, but I am noticing 4, so that could be important. Joy and stability. Yeah, there is a new beginning that starts for you after, I think it feels something very tumultuous, hard. This could look like a breakup. This could look like an ending or a severing of connections or places of work and having to rebuild, needing to start again. That is hard, but it is meant to be a catalyst for a much more positive cycle to begin, a new beginning where there is joy and stability. And you are the one who has the strength and fortitude now to create this, even if it doesn't feel like that right now. And because it's a new moon, we don't technically start anything new under new moons. We just start to connect to what it is that we want, how we want to rebuild, what joy and stability would look like for us moving forward. We give ourselves over to contemplating that, reflecting on that, and then we start to build from that point. And it feels like that's definitely a thing here for my message 3 choosers. You are moving into a cycle of new beginnings, but it starts with really connecting to what's true for you, what your heart really wants moving forward, what joy and stability looks like for you. I keep coming back to that. Have you even allowed yourself to consider what real happiness would be for you? What are you doing? Who are you with? Yeah, I feel like some of you have been through some heartbreak though. And I don't know why I keep getting the word of blindsided. I wonder if some of you were blindsided by something, you didn't see it coming. All the more reason to take a breath and take a break and collect yourself again. All right. Look at this. Take a breath and surrender to non-action. Really big message for you guys. Now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power. Let others come to you. Yeah, it's sort of like there's a bit of manifesting energy. Geez, I can't talk. Coming your way as well. So this is exactly as it says. No action. Taking a breath. Manifesting in your mind what joy and stability looks like for you, what you really want, calling it in, embodying that energy, and it starts to show up for you, it feels like, in a really big way. For some reason, I keep thinking full moon. So whether it's the full moon that follows this new moon or the one after, I'm not entirely sure, but feels like that's going to be a powerful time for a lot of my message 3 choosers. Something under the full moon. It says, let others come to you. And they will, I feel, here for you guys, message 3. Surrender fear. Let go of the fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment, focus on solutions, and celebrate every baby step forward. Rebuild, right? Surrender fear. I definitely get anxiety and worry and concern. I'm like, how am I going to do this energy for a lot of you? I feel like you're much stronger than you give yourself credit for, and that you've learned so much through hardship. And I suspect that you are ready for that part of your life to be done, the chapter of difficulty to be done, exhausted by it. And I feel like that's exactly what wants to show up for you. But it's just like you're in those last vestiges of healing, opening up the door to manifesting, and really understanding what true happiness, joy, and stability is going to look like for you moving forward. Yeah, and as it says, focus on solutions and celebrate every baby step forward, no matter how small. No matter how small. Give yourself credit for what you've survived, what you've been through. Yeah, I definitely keep coming back to, I think some of you have been through the ringer in some kind of way. Okay, we got another card that just flew out there. There's a lot of energy showing up in this illumination about not forcing anything, really leaning into allowing. You're no exception here, message 3. It's such a hard thing to do. I think as humans, we either just want to act, we just want to make things happen, we want to push on things, right? Knight of Ariel, trustworthy, understanding, devoted, and funny. There is so much to accomplish. Make a very detailed plan, being watched over by someone kind. Wow. You know what's weird? Message 3, being watched over by someone kind. I'm getting strong grandpa energy. I feel like somebody's being watched over by a grandfather or somebody who had that kind of fatherly energy. Anyways, make a very detailed plan, being watched over by someone kind. This is your rebuild energy, right? That's the opportunity that's presenting. We're not pushing, we're not acting. We're just getting very real, raw, and honest with ourselves. What do I want? What does joy and stability and happiness look like for me? How could I start to build it? This is definitely an energy that you're in right now that you're being asked to embrace and embody at this time. Four of Ariel, another Ariel card, another 4 too. Maybe that's why I was feeling force. Pay attention to force if they come up for you, message 3. They likely going to be kind of guiding you. And they're also the number of the angels, right? It's kind of like a bit of a heads up that angels are nearby, ready to help answer questions. Almost feel like this is a time too when that grandfatherly, fatherly energy might show up for you. When you give, you also receive. Being resistant to change. Extremes in how you save or spend money. Okay. So not erring on extremes, right? Again, we're retreating backwards. We're going within. We're really understanding our wants and our desires. We're not acting on impulse or out of comfort, our comfort zone, where, right? We're not really thinking, we're just doing and being. Big energy around, it's time to release that. It's time to let that automatic pilot energy go. Because, as it says, when you give, you also receive. Being resistant to change. Where might you be resisting change that you know would be quite good for you? Another energy to contemplate here. Archangel Ariel also might be an angel that you want to call in at this time, because you've got her here twice, Ariel. Looking up what she's about, what kind of energy and help she provides and offers. This could be an angelic energy that starts to come around you as well, or that you can at least call in. 9 of Raphael, make a wish, dreams become reality, a joyful time of life. Yeah. And it feels like this is the energy you get to lean into and receive. And you've got a dog down there too. So with loyalty coming in, committed people, positive energy and emotional connections and relationships definitely come to mind with this card. But it is, if you take the advice here of surrendering your fear, surrendering to non-action, taking a breath, really going within, it brings you this beautiful energy. Dreams become reality, a joyful time of life, make a wish. But it has to come from a heartfelt place, I feel here. Message 3, making sure that it really is aligned with what you want and not what you just think that you can have. Like, it doesn't have to be realistic. The dream is what I'm feeling here for you guys as well. 7 of Gabriel, stand up for what you believe in, have confidence, claim your personal power. Yeah, right. And that does come through rebuilding, taking a time out, understanding ourselves. Not really much more I need to touch on for that one. I feel like it just makes sense. It's like a reiteration of what's already here. Have confidence, claim your personal power. Yeah, not giving in to what you've always done, what you've always been, or what people have always expected from you either. I feel like maybe some of you have already been doing that, living that kind of a narrative. Well, everyone expects me to be the one that cooks everything. That's just an example. So I guess I have to cook everything, but you don't. You can shift that. You can change that. You can say, you know what? I've just been doing it to be nice and because it was the expectation, but I don't want to do that anymore. It feels like embracing that kind of energy. Maybe a bad analogy, but that's just the analogy I could come up with. Look at all this Ariel energy. Definitely call in Archangel Ariel for her guidance, her assistance, to infuse you with her wisdom and what she brings, energetically speaking. Queen of Ariel, mature, practical, generous, and happy. Nurture yourself and those you love. The ability to make anything more beautiful. Practical and wise advice. Yep. The ability to make anything more beautiful. I wonder if some of you are quite creative, and maybe that aspect of yourself has been a bit quieted or shut down. But I definitely think there's a message here to lean into it more. You have a lot to offer. Maybe you're somebody who's really good at things that have to do with aesthetics. And making things more aesthetically pleasing. And it's about leaning into that kind of energy more. because there's something joyful and stable in doing that sort of thing, rebuilding in the energy of the Queen of Ariel. It's like being very, very open to creative inspiration, I think, too, for a lot of you. Where I think in the past it's had to be shut down for other reasons. Again, that heartbreak energy, expectations of others, maybe not showing up in a way that would feel more authentic to you because of those expectations of others. I don't know why I keep coming back to that for some of you. That might not resonate with all of you, but I definitely think that that's a thing for some of you. All this pink energy too, and then you've got Raphael at the center. So heart clearing, I think, would also, be a really good idea for some of you. Do a heart chakra meditation and centering yourself. Okay, no jumpers with this deck. Free spirit. To be a free spirit is to float without walls, to fly without judgment, and to love without conditions. Yeah. And you know what? I feel like that probably is naturally you. You're somebody who's always wanted to be a free spirit. You know what the feeling is? That you were that. Like maybe when you were a child, you were this free spirited nature. And somewhere along the way, society, family conditioning, and opinions and ideas kind of squashed this part of you, or quelled it and quieted it so much that you've forgotten this piece of yourself, or you've not allowed this piece of yourself to be out and wild and really in the most beautiful way. And you're going to be given an opportunity to rebuild in this energy of who you truly are, a free spirited person, free to be yourself and do what makes sense for you and what's best for you. Yeah. And I think to rebuild something within your heart that was lost. That sounds so random. A lost idea, a lost inspiration, a dream. I don't know what that is, but I think that's something for some of you. Nice. Transcendence. Transcend your mind's limitations and allow your soul's light to truly shine. Yeah. And that goes so well with free spirit. Yeah. Freeing your spirit up now. A new beginning where you get to rebuild from this place and transcend the old narrative and ways of being. This is all on the offering for you guys right now. But it's going to be some work. It's going to be some work. I want to be honest about that. It is going to be facing some shadows, releasing some heartbreak and pains from the past. It means showing up differently and embracing change wholeheartedly with like that sense of trust and adventure rather than fear. All difficult things, but so worth it if we let it happen. Okay. I'm going to pull another couple cards here. I feel like this feeling of, for my message 3, is when you are at your best and in your most authentic and raw form, magic happens. Like you kind of embody that energy of the magician in some kind of way. And this is what you're being called to lean into at this time and rebuild from that place. And that when you do, it brings about so much beautiful change. But I just think that you've had kind of a locked up soul for a while. Childhood conditioning keeps coming to my mind for some of you. Not free to be that. Gentle flow. Consider being flexible and wisely yielding rather than resisting the changes. Graceful moves. Yeah. Moving with ease and grace like a free spirit would, floating in the ebb and the flow of life rather than hanging on to that branch and clinging for dear life to what we know that has been in our comfort zone, even when it's not comfortable for us to be there anymore. And we know it's not. It's like that. Gentle flow. Going with the flow. Lots of change that wants to be brought about for you guys. But slow and steady wins the race with this for you is something I definitely feel. Consider being flexible and wisely yielding rather than resisting the changes. Graceful moves. Yeah. Take a breath. Surrendering to that non-action energy. Big changes that want to show up as a result of you doing this sort of taking this time out and rebuilding. Okay, I'm going to cap this off with one final message here. Okay, angel energy travels to Earth via beautiful orbs of light. These spheres or rays are not always visible to the human eye. So if you manage to see them, know that you are blessed. Okay, message 3, I think you guys are going to have some spiritual experiences where you're going to sense angelic energy around you. Maybe Ariel, because she's shown up here a lot. That grandfather, fatherly energy showing up by way of an orb of light, or feeling it and sensing it and then seeing it. Almost like, when people see auras around other people, I feel like that could be a thing. Maybe you already do, or you're about to. Either way, you're going to start noticing spiritual energy around you. And this is sort of like your heads up to trust it, that you are being blessed, that they are really around you and available to you, to ask your questions, to receive wisdom from them, and that you're not crazy. It's real and it's happening for you. Spiritual experiences, I think, are really going to come online for you in a huge way moving forward. Message 3, so just being open to that. You're not crazy. It's real. All right. I don't think that there's anything else here I need to touch on. I hope all of you have the most amazing, beautiful day. Take care, guys. Hello, message 4. So I pulled the main overarching energies to save a little bit of time in the video, but we're going to look at them together. We've got, okay, dark moon and the past. And right away, I'm attracted to those snakes. So some sort of healing, needing to heal the past in some way, shape, or form. And so you might be somebody who experiences some wounds from the past, or some feelings and emotions that are heavy, that are definitely related to and connected to the past, that you don't want to be bringing forward with you. And they're going to be coming up for the opportunity to heal them out, because the past is directly connected to our future. And if we carry past energies that were heavy, hard, difficult, emotionally upsetting, then our future ends up looking the same. We can't make any changes. And there's definitely an energy around that here for me. And it does say dark moon, so that's new moon energy. Something coming up for healing, transmutation, and a shift of change for you guys. But I think that your past is affecting your present in some way. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, dedicated effort. I'm noticing the number 8 right away. And so this person on there, in this image on the card, is building something, creating something. And it's an image of a man and a woman, of a couple, something with love. Maybe some of you have put in dedicated effort in a relationship. You've put all the time and energy and work into it, and it hasn't gone the way that you had hoped. It's affecting your present now, or maybe you're showing up in a kind of way in a connection that has been directly related to past pains, and it's just not working in the connection. But because he's building there, he's creative, he's creating a mural. Something about efforts from the past, whether in love or in something that you were trying to build or create, didn't work out, went sideways. You didn't have the fruition, or the hard work and effort didn't pay off, and it's affecting your present. Yeah, okay, let's see what else is here. Sacral chakra. Okay. So there's something emotionally heavy. It's held in your sacral, right? This is the area responsible for love, feelings of guilt and shame, but also wholeness and well-being, creativity, inspiration, passion, and sexuality. There's something from your past that's it's in your now, it's in your present. It doesn't want to be brought into your future. It's affecting you emotionally. It's affecting your present. It's going to affect the future if we don't look at it and heal it and understand the emotions and release these things and not bring them forward with us. For some of you, it's connected to something that you put a lot of time, effort, and energy into, whether a relationship or something that you were trying to create or build. It needs to come up for release. And this new moon in Libra is going to offer the opportunity to do that. But it's going to be difficult because it's shadow work. This is shadow work, most definitely. And it means that it could bring up, heavy emotions, tears, and pains from the past that we don't want to look at or we don't want to lean into because they're hard, they're heavy, they make us feel off. They remind us of that pain of what didn't work out. But I really think it's going to be so necessary and needed. It is really time to heal them out. And these kinds of energies don't show up together unless there's for good reason, because the universe wants to ship a new beginning your way. It wants something new to start, whether it's a new project, career, idea, inspiration, or relationship. It needs you to be ready for it and not in this energy or carrying this energy anymore. Kind of deep. Okay, let's see what else. I'm going to pull a couple surrender cards for you guys. I'm actually quite curious about this because I definitely feel two separate things. For some, it's about the pains of the past in relationship, and for others, it's definitely more created or connected to, rather, things that you tried to build. Something creative, something that you emotionally had a lot of investment in. Like blood, sweat, tears comes to mind. But also it could be that you're being asked to put some dedicated effort into an existing connection or a creative idea or inspiration at this time, but something from the past prevents you from doing that. There's a lot going on here. Okay. Okay, surrender comparisons with other people. Keep your eyes trained on yourself. Focus on your own strengths, attractiveness, and power. And you know what? That's a native woman there. There's that healing energy, shamanic energy comes to my mind. Yeah, surrender your comparisons. So this could be something that stops you from making a dedicated effort. That energy I touched on just at the end of these, talking about these cards up here. For some of you, you hold yourself back and you keep yourself small because maybe you think I'm not good enough. I don't know enough. I'm not wise enough, not smart enough. Just fill in the blank of not enough. And it is time to rectify that belief system, that energy. It's not serving you, it's hindering you, because you're meant to be making some sort of dedicated effort towards a new thing, or releasing something from the past where you felt like you did put blood, sweat, and tears into it and it didn't work out. Self-sabotage comes to mind here for some of you guys, like you're sabotaging yourself. Surrender your belief in scarcity. The universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. Yeah. Where is the story coming from that tells you you're not good enough, beautiful enough, smart enough, capable enough? Where did you learn this story? Where from the past did it create a block within you that has kept you small for far too long? It is time to release it. It is time to let it go and start saying yes to yourself and your potential and your opportunity and what you bring in all kinds of ways, in love and in what you want to create or build. So really take some time to clear your sacral, because I feel like this is also having a big effect on your present. Scarcity too, that goes down into the root chakra, right? Feeling like we're not going to be provided for or supported if we do the things that our heart is really calling us to do. So looking at that narrative as well. This new moon in Libra, man, it's really bringing up some hard stuff that cause us to be imbalanced or to have imbalance and disharmony in areas of our life. It's really saying like, it's time to cut this out. Do not bring it into the future. Do not bring it into 2026. I really feel like these last couple months of this year is providing so much opportunity to say, I'm done with this narrative, this story, and this way of operating and being. I'm over it. You're no exception here, message 4. That's definitely a strong feeling I get for this message as well for you guys. And there's something unique about you that I think that you don't appreciate or see, and it needs to be leaned into more. You know, where there's nobody else that could do that or say that the way that you would do it or say it. And it's needed, the way that you see things, the way that you do things. It's different. Like, you know, as it says, keep your eyes trained on yourself. Focus on your own strengths, attractiveness, and power. You have a unique way of doing particular things or showing up. And you should not change that or squelch that part of yourself. I feel like maybe you felt like you had to in the past, though. Okay. Ace of Gabriel, a gift of passion, opportunity, and inspiration, the chance to do something amazing, a sense of wonder. But here we are on the side challenge with that dedicated effort, so needing to not compare yourself to others and seeing how amazing you are. This has been so difficult for you, right? That self-sabotage. Because I don't feel good enough and I don't feel like I can do it as well as anyone else, or I'm not wise enough, whatever it is, or even beautiful enough to accept a connection. I feel like that's a thing for some of you. It's sort of like the spirits opened up the heavens to say, no, that was stories from the past that you're very attached to, and they're not true anymore, and it's time to release them. Because you have this gift of passion being shipped your way, or maybe it already has been. You're being divinely inspired, and it's time to take a chance on something new. Okay, so 5 of Raphael. Everything happens for a reason. Release regret and embrace the opportunities for happiness. Search for the silver lining. That's that energy of holding on to what didn't work in the past, where maybe you did put effort in. You did try. You put your blood, sweat, tears, your whole heart and soul into something or someone, and it didn't work out. And it is creating a whole story within you about why you can't have a new thing, why maybe you can't trust yourself. This needs to go. This needs to go, message 4. 6 of Raphael has been showing up a lot. Okay, embrace your inner child, new friends or rekindled relationships, children or childhood, the past. So, and the 6 of Cups energy, that's what this card is connected to, is so nostalgic, and it's definitely created 2 stories from the past. I feel like this is just the spirit world's way of saying there are stories there from your past, from your childhood, wounds that need to be addressed and healed, because they are definitely acting as blocks. But then also this helps to bring out your inner child, that part of you that says, you know what, I can do that thing. I can try that thing. I can move in that direction. I can let myself be seen in this way. I can embrace a new connection. I can rekindle relationships, or even make myself more available to the potential of a new relationship. All kinds of things I feel for you guys. Lots of Raphael, though. So that's that healing energy. Maybe take some time to call in Archangel Raphael this time to help you see, understand, and release these belief systems and pains from the past, you know, held in the sacral, that emotional center, that are just not doing you any favors anymore. They must go. They can't come into your future with you. Holy cow. Love and blessings fill your life. Harmonious relationships with family members, happily ever after. 10 of Raphael. 10 cups, emotional fulfillment, peace, harmony, blessings, right? We've got that rainbow energy out there too. This is what wants to come your way. This is the result of healing the past and finally giving yourself over to healing it, looking at it, leaning into the hard emotions. As tricky as I think it's going to be, and I really do. That's shadow energy. It releases you from something, self-sabotage, an old narrative, and it releases those blocks that have told you, I can't show up authentically. I can't trust who I am, how I am, or what I bring to any given situation. I feel like that all starts to go away. Yeah. Knight of Ariel, trustworthy, understanding, devoted, and funny. There is so much to accomplish. Make a very detailed plan, being watched over by someone kind. By someone kind. You know, this card came up in one of the other messages as well. And Knight of Ariel also can be letting you know, giving you a heads up that there's a new emotionally romantic connection that wants to show up for you in the very near future. But if we don't heal out the old stories and narratives, we might let this pass us by. But this is like this extra piece of info letting you know that there is somebody around you, maybe it's Archangel Raphael, but a family member as well, I think, that is likely watching over you and guarding the situation, letting you know that you're safe and protected, and that this new situation, this new person coming into your life is heaven sent, and you can trust it. But we need to do this from a positive space, right? We're not self-sabotaging the good that wants to come through. And it says there's so much to accomplish and make a very detailed plan. So the other side of that, outside of connection and relationship, is inspiration that you should absolutely follow, where you're trusting and believing in your capabilities and what you can do. You're putting in a dedicated effort to it a little bit every day. And you're trusting that you're being divinely led and that you can't get it wrong. And I want to say this time, no matter, regardless of the opinions of others too, that's a thing. I think sometimes opinions from others is drowning out your own voice. Here, message 4. A lot going on here, but so much coming up for healing because a new beginning wants to show up. For some of you, you're going to be building something from the ground up, something creative that's divinely inspired, that feels very soul-centered for you. And for others, there's an emotional connection that I feel like is going to either come with this or is just coming up for you, regardless of this, all this energy showing up around building a new thing. It's like building a new relationship. Hopefully that makes sense. Every message under this lunation is bringing 2 or 3 messages. It's crazy. That doesn't usually happen with these, but it's happening with this new moon in Libra. A lot going on. All right. Let me pull a couple more cards here. Oh, all right. Well, that was easy. These 2 fell right out. So we're going to go with that. Blue flame. Connect to the blue flame, which is the light of pure love within you. All right. So look online for some blue flame meditations, or, just if you're good at visualizing, imagine a blue flame lighting up within your heart space and have it travel up and then down to burn off old energies or to show you what you need to see for healing. Yeah. Connect to the blue flame, which is the light of pure love within you. Yeah. Absolutely. Little piece of advice there. Gratitude. Universal love shines through the miracles of life all around you. Universal love shines through the miracles of life all around you. Gratitude. Staying in gratitude. I feel like you're also going to be given something to be grateful for. I don't know why. That's probably just for some of you, not all of you, because this is general, but I feel this energy of something's going to be brought to you and it's going to make you feel really grateful or have a reason to feel like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that just happened. Thank you. Universal love shines through the miracles of life all around you. Something miraculous, something to just feel really excited and happy about coming your way, I think. So long as you're open to it and doing this healing work. Yeah. I feel like there's more to that and I'm just not touching on it. But if something comes back around, I'll say it. Almost like I think some of you are going to receive an answer to something. And it feels like for some of you, it's going to be quite obvious. Oh my gosh, that's it. That's the thing. That's the answer. That's what I need to do. Or even like a pull towards a person that shows up for you. I don't know what that is, but that's what I'm feeling. So I'm just saying it. Stable depths. True stability is often not immediately visible, but it has a profound impact. Quiet power. That's a good energy and word, or couple of words rather, to define what I feel for a lot of my message for choosers. You have this quiet power, and it almost feels like it's vibrating and simmering under the surface, and it wants to be brought up and out and expanded. And it might feel a little bit destabilizing. So I feel like there's a bit of a heads up to keep your center as this happens, like kind of like you're ascending and moving up. Yeah. And as this says, it's not going to feel like that's the thing that's happening right away, but it is. Yeah. I think that you're about to have a big power shift in doing this healing work and this shadowy work that, again, just being honest, I think is going to be emotion inducing. It's going to bring up some wounds. But once you see them and understand them and release them, it's sort of like the sky is the limit. It feels here for you guys. Conflicts you've been experiencing are now melting away. People who seemed like adversaries have become your allies. The angels are working through them to support you. Wow. Okay, so that goes really well here with 6 Raphael and 10 of Raphael. New friends or rekindled relationships, children or childhood. And then you've got love and blessings, fill your life, harmonious relationships with family members, happily ever after. So where there's been difficult, where there's been crunchiness and frustration, especially in connections, this is going to shift. And so you remember I said, I feel like something's going to be shipped your way and it could even be a person. Be open to that because I think that's definitely going to be a true thing for some of you where you're like, yeah, I didn't see eye to eye with you in the past. I didn't relate to you. Something's shifting there and it's going to become a new kind of energy from them where those conflicts go away and it all feels renewed and refreshed. Again, conflicts you've been experiencing are now melting away. People who seemed like adversaries have become your allies. The angels are working through them to support you. So be open to new people or other people from your past coming back in a different type of energy, kind of like they've evolved as humans and they've shifted and changed so much that now their energy can help you in some kind of way. Just be open to that message for as a possibility for some of you. And that there's some sort of healing, I feel like, that happens in a broader sense in relationships and connections as a result of you doing some personal healing work as well. Either way, you've got help about to enter your life for the positive. All right, I'm going to leave that there. And I hope all of you have the most amazing, beautiful day. Take care, guys.